banged his head about 20 times. I literally thought he was going to knock himself out.
I think I still have a little bit of concussion from that, actually.
It's actually designed by Anouska Hempel, who used to be a Bond girl.
I mean, you could kill someone in there and you would never find them.
So... Hi everyone, we're A Life of Attraction. I'm Tessa.
And I'm Mack.
And today we're going to be talking about our recent experience at the Duxton Reserve Hotel in Singapore.
I don't know about you guys, but not being able to travel for so long has really started to bother us. Obviously, getting the news about Germany opening up has been great, and we're certainly excited to see what other European cities are added to that list and whether there's any locations around here that we can visit and get ourselves out of Singapore for a little bit. But we've started to realise that it's time to take some staycations. We decided to go for a night at the Duxton Reserve and we really enjoyed it, actually. It was cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's very different from a hotel we would usually pick because I generally like things very bright and white walls and stuff, and this place is quite dark, purposefully dark in a really cool way.
If Wes Anderson and Tim Burton did a hotel, that's kind of how I imagine it would sort of look. It's almost like a gothic themed shop house. So it is super dark. The camera doesn't necessarily love all of the nooks and crannies, but it really does feel luxurious.
Yeah, I really like that it's in a shop house. Got the shop house windows and everything, but it's all black. The main colour scheme throughout the place would be black and yellow. I believe it was actually designed by Anouska Hempel, who used to be a Bond girl. And then there's also a bar called Anouska's Bar, obviously named after her, which is super, super cool. We went there for drinks in the evening. But yeah, it's really cool. There's like a range of different suites. We stayed in the opening suite, but they have like, I think maybe 5 different types you can pick from, and there's one called the duplex suite that has like the original staircase, and it's obviously 2 floors. So,
actually, yeah. I really liked the room. The lounge area is super nice. In the corner of the room, they had this really cool bar that was all mirrored, but they had a really good selection of gins and alcohol, and everything was sort of set up for you to actually make drinks, which sometimes you get like a mini bar and it's just a little fridge, but this actually felt like a proper bar, didn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really cool, like really sort of traditional, old school. I took a bunch of selfies in the mirror because it looked really cool.
It's weird though, like inside the hotel, and when I've looked back at the pictures, it almost has that Orient Express sort of feel to the whole place. Oh, yeah,
with all the like shutters and stuff.
Loads of shutters, really old, like traditional like wallpaper with calligraphy on the walls and stuff. You could do a really good murder mystery in that hotel. I mean, you could kill someone in there and you would never find them. You could. You actually could.
So the room's basically like the lounge area, bathroom, and then the bed was in the sort of like little cove. But there was this lamp that was like exactly Mack's height, and he just banged his head about 20 times. I literally thought he was going to knock himself out.
I don't think we got that on camera, but honestly, there was... I suffer because I basically don't see above eye level. So if there's anything above eye level, I will bash my head into it. And there was this lamp right in the middle of the room.
I was actually worried.
I think I hit it about 20 times. Heavily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I still have a little bit of concussion from that, actually.
But overall, the room was really cool.
Yeah, it actually was, apart from nearly being knocked out on several occasions.
And then the hotel itself, it doesn't have a pool or anything, but its main facilities are obviously Anouska's Bar and Yellow Pot Restaurant, which is like a modern Chinese restaurant. Obviously, we did all of the above. We went to Anouska's Bar first. We had some cocktails. We have some really interesting Asian flavors and a really good cocktail list. And then we had a amuse-bouche platter that again focused around Asian fusion, like dim sum and stuff, which was really good. Then we had dinner, and we'd had like a stupidly large lunch.
We did. We basically went for a massive lunch and Italian, not thinking that our dinner would be so huge, but we weren't ready for the amuse-bouche, and then we had to eat dinner. So the dinner was really, really nice. We were already full, but we managed to eat quite a lot of it. The duck specifically was amazing. He managed to retain the crispy skin, even though it had a sauce on the top of it. The duck breast was really tender and juicy. We had a prawn in XO sauce
Again, the
dish.
prawns were amazing, really, really big.
Absolutely huge prawns. The final dish was,
I think it was an eggplant.
like an eggplant dish, which was also like really, really nice. I would definitely go back just to eat at that restaurant for sure.
Yeah, the food was amazing.
It has this sort of modern Chinese feel to it.
Yeah, and then after that we just had 2 desserts. By this point, we were literally at breaking point. I wish we'd just not had
the
such
desserts.
I wish we did not have such a big lunch, because I really wish we could have enjoyed it more, because it really genuinely was so good. But we went for a red bean pancake, which we weren't really keen on red bean before, but it was actually had a bit of a change of heart.
Yeah.
And the pancake was really, really thin and crispy.
Yeah.
And then mango sago.
Yeah, mango sago, which was actually really refreshing, wasn't it? After quite a heavy meal with a lot of oil. I would say that was the better of the desserts. Red bean is an interesting one though.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to really hate it, and now I don't mind it.
I think if it's warm, I actually quite like red bean. I think if it's cold and wet, and I'm not really into it.
Yeah.
Back to the room. So the room was really cozy. The bed is in its own little nook, which actually feels almost like a little snug. But then there is a massive lantern which hangs over your head, and right before we went to sleep, Tess went a little bit concerned about that lantern.
I was a bit paranoid about it.
So we were a little bit paranoid, but it was still a really good night's sleep. I slept all the way through.
But we also weren't very comfortable. I was so full that I dreamt we had twins. It's actually happened before. But yeah, it was silly full. We didn't even talk to each other. We were just night.
Twins full. That's when you know you're full. Then we got up pretty early the next morning. The breakfast was amazing.
Really, really, really good.
I would say one of the best breakfasts that I've ever had.
Yeah,
certainly the best hotel breakfast I've ever had.
Definitely. It was just all really, really fresh. They gave us a fresh fruit platter and croissants and baguettes and stuff to start with, which we took home because we were let's just eat the breakfast and not overfill ourselves, because we were still full from the night before. You ordered the eggs Benedict and I ordered the pancakes, which was a brilliant decision because they were the best pancakes we've ever had.
The pancakes were definitely the star of the show.
They really were.
100%. I don't know how they made them, but they almost had this crispy outer edge on the pancake, but they were super fluffy. Almost had that marzipan-y taste to them. The cream was super fresh. The berries were really sweet and juicy. I would fully recommend it, even just going there for breakfast anytime. It's a really good spot. In the morning, it's super nice because you're right by the roadside. As the light's coming through, it sort of illuminates all of that corridor. In terms of the hotel itself, it's in a really good location. It's right on Duxton Hill. I never even put the 2 and 2 together before. I know it's called Duxton Reserve, but I thought it was out in the sticks somewhere. Turns out it's right on the edge of Duxton Hill, so you've got loads of restaurants and stuff. We went to Latteria the previous day for the biggest Italian brunch I think we've ever had, but actually really good value as well. So if you're looking for a hotel that's a little bit different, a slightly different alternative experience, you're gonna feel like you're getting away a little bit. Unfortunately, no pool, but it's not the biggest deal. You only get an hour by the pool these days, right? But there's plenty in the hotel to sort of keep you busy.
Generally, staff are super attentive, really, really good service. Food was amazing, as I said. If you go, maybe don't eat lunch.
Hot tip.
Hot tip. And yeah, we'll definitely be back, even if it's just for dinner or breakfast or the bar.
So thank you very much for joining us for our review of Duxton Reserve. It was a really good stay. We've got more hotel stays planned in the weeks to come, and more experiences as well. So if you would like to know where your next staycation should be, if you want to do some slightly alternative experiences to just get us past the line, just so we've got something to do before we're able to travel again, then do subscribe to our channel, do give us a follow, even drop us a comment about like maybe some of the experiences you've been on or you'd like us to try out. But we hope you've enjoyed this video today. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.
Bye. Ziggie is kicking off.
She's booting off. Yeah, get her. She's honestly like, she's been scratching at that door like crazy. Here she comes. She's gonna come out and realise there's no food and then just be like, well, what's the point in that? Here she is.
This thing like is like.
If there's ever food around, she wants to be around. So now she's realised, look at her. Just like, where are the other guys?